Now, Internet, I sent them both the same articles, so if they get upset, I know, I don't like to interrupt Risen's introduction. I sent them the same articles, so if they're really shouted, this is all my fault, my bad.
I am loudly rolling my eyes as he burns
I can
me
hear
with
it.
his cigarette.
Rawr.
Good evening. We are Boomer Rex tonight. I have with me Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Yeah.
Asshole.
I was quiet last time.
And I am RisenLadyHeathen. And tonight we once again have an exciting litany of things to discuss. Let's dig right in with the right-wing Claremont Institute. They put out an interesting report, you said?
Oh, sons of bitches.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is
I just know the
standard.
name. What have they done now?
Oh, this was John Eastman's other memo.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was...
How you hold the streets.
Yeah, and I went through and read it, and I agree with the characterization that this was an instruction manual,
Yes.
right? For Trump partisans and their friends in law enforcement.
I haven't actually read it. Did they talk about you need to
Aided
control
by
the intersections and on-ramps?
No.
Okay, so it's not the real insurgent's manual, but...
Again, this endless series of suggestions about how you could
Yeah.
deputize posses of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers
You need to hold...
go out and round up the opposition.
You need a big enough change that it all feels chaotic, so everyone hides in their house while you do whatever it is you do, or find new votes or whatever.
Yep.
Like, no, it's how you seize power but maintain the vestments of democracy, which is what... It's how democracies die.
Yeah, no, you gotta download this and read it.
I saw the article and I assumed one of you guys would pick it up.
This was Plan B.
So, no, this is like double.
No, it's disgusting.
No, but it gives me a
words.
whole extra day worth. Like, this makes up for Sunday being broken in terms of news.
Yeah.
Because I see all the news, but I wait on some stuff, hoping one of you will pick it up and tell me about it. Because then it's like story time for me.
Oh God. Anyway.
So no, I will check this out because it looked bad. Like from the blurb and whatever the first 30 words Google gave me.
This is
It
bad
looked like
enough
they
to
weren't
make-
kidding.
This is bad enough to make me think the word treason.
This looked a lot different than when this is the same guy who's claiming he was just doing Oppo research, but whatever the law kids call that, right? That he was just looking. This is the same Eastman memo guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was just I was just doing Tiger Team shit, man. I wasn't really writing how to do it. And like, oh, but hold on.
Except you gave it
You
to
just
the guy
wrote the
you wanted to
nitwit's
do it,
infantry manual.
and called him while the riot, or while the insurrection was going on. Yeah.
So let's be honest
That
about that.
guy.
That's at least part of why this shithead could write the Nitwit's Infantry Manual is the banking on the fact that there's enough kids, the 1% of Americans that join the military, right? That there would be enough of them on your side, you could just issue fire teams to vets and run the table. And if you ever get vets that pissed, that's probably how that story breaks down, right? I read Starship Troopers. That's an awesome book. Yes, it's a fascist state, but it's a functional one. And I trade a lot for functional. Not saying we should be fascist to everybody.
Right. Anyway, no, it's a disgusting read. You ought to read it.
No, I am not surprised.
I see they called him before the insurrection committee.
I saw he didn't talk to nobody because he knows which side which side his pardon's buttered on.
Yeah.
No,
And we'll come back to that because it fits in somewhere else.
what you described so far is already horrific enough. My more point is I just love the fact that this dude just ran out from the cover of his earlier argument.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is shithead in the open. We've got him.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't write a thing because he was a lawyer paid to look at... Right.
This is a coup.
Yeah. That's like the idiots who want to talk about the 13th Amendment says you don't got to pay taxes. I'm like, no, it says no titles from the original.
Right.
Yeah. No, but I ran that down once because I heard somebody say taxes are bullshit. And I'm like, all right, so what's the argument? And you instantly get to some misunderstanding of how things worked back in the day and something about the fringe on flags making an admiralty court and corporations and like I don't have to do what you tell me.
It was QAnon before QAnon was QAnon.
It's like somebody did a lot of meth with a kid from law school and they tried to build the legal equivalent to the everything.
No,
shield.
what they tried to do was write the silliest thing they thought they could sell to any gullibility.
Aye.
So,
And then
they
they
did.
did that.
They succeeded.
And then they made a water park.
But we
Oh
can.
my God.
I'm sympathetic on a lot of again we were running right now. We are about to run out the last of the kids who were caught up in the moment in the January insurrection.
Yeah.
I've been to riots. Riots are hot. I have no idea what the riots I was around were about because I was there to hook up with hippie chicks.
Yep.
The hippie chicks I like make Molotov
So anyway,
cocktails.
this one makes me sick enough to say we should move on. And I want to talk about Whitney High School. I mean,
What have they done?
all right, so they're located in
name's
the
not messed
suburbs
up.
of a suburb of Sacramento. And there was a question on a test that asked respondents
Oh.
to identify, I just love this, a group of complete idiots. And the choices were the KKK, all of Florida, Fox News, and Texans. And I'm sitting there going, how can you do that list without having all of the above?
No, that's what I said when I
And
first
just-
told you
yeah.
about it.
I
I was
was-
like,
We
there
all
should be
had that.
another thing.
Yeah. We all had that response. So let's run through it a little bit. The I'm sorry, guys. The KKK, yeah, that's a 30s, 40s, and 50s thing, right? They're irrelevant.
That was a scam in the 30s.
Well, but you have to remember this was a history teacher.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you know
peace.
KKK was probably the right
Yeah.
answer.
But that means they also know the 3 incarnations of the Klan. Oh yeah, no, there's the real Klan Reconstruction,
You know,
where it's the same shithead motivation that drove the whatever was running Germany before the Fuhrer.
right.
Right, that you fuck with a group bad enough. We stripped Confederates of the right, males who served in the military,
Yeah.
of the right to vote,
Right.
which I don't disagree with. But the 20s, right, sort of 15s to 20s, where again they tried, they had serious marches. Lowell beat the ass of every man, woman, and child the Klan bought. It's one of the few things I have thought to myself while getting beat up in Lowell that this is their proud
It was
heritage.
mitigating for Lowell. Yeah.
Look, it's New England. Like, you get punched sometimes.
Yeah.
In the 30s, where it was entirely multi-level marketing scheme.
Seriously, I love it.
Seriously, I'll show you the thing. But no, I can pick everyone on that state and be rude about, and the rest of the states are gonna be rude too,
Yeah.
because I only keep Texas. I think we should only keep Texas because it balances California.
All right, so then we can talk about all of Florida. No, I don't think all of Florida is complete idiots.
No,
Their
but
governor is.
Florida, man, is a deadly accurate description of a lot of the things that happen in Florida. And it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
one of those local reasons where you're like, oh, yeah.
Yep.
I have seen things explained in Boston with a great shrug and, St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Okay.
Like Mardi Gras,
Right.
Carnival.
But again, the measure of the idiocy of Florida is how many people they managed to murder with COVID. Great. Let's see, what else do we have? Fox News. Oh, yeah.
What have they done?
I'm sorry, it's not Fox News, it's Fox Entertainment. Right. It's what can they sell? The
I-
Gullibillies. So,
And-
and if you don't believe they're trying to gather the Gullibillies, look at their list of advertisers. And what was Texans. Yeah, Texans. So
No, you overrun your
I can
audience.
certainly understand.
I think
The average experienced American's life is a reason to burn down the White House. Capitalism has failed everyone currently
Oh, we're
alive.
coming back to that. Don't worry about it.
Cool. But it's too easy for my side who's done nothing for, when was the 20s? So 80, so yeah, 80 plus 20, brain, 100 years. The left has done nothing for America in
Again, we're coming back
100
to that.
years. Notice it's that's the American century, and it's
Yeah.
the worst period of human experience ever recorded. Yeah. So I'm sorry, we were going back to it. What?
Well, we'll come back to it. So, while we're at it, we could talk about Evan Newman, who was charged in July with 6 counts, including assaulting officers and violent entry and so
yes.
forth. Yep.
And that's my big bold line. I will say I meant to blunder over. The kids who were just wandering around, right? As long as you weren't holding a desk leg or wandering off with
I'm
a
okay
lectern,
with that.
Florida man.
right.
Some
okay
shit
with
happens
probation.
when, and whatever their fine is for the damage averaged out over total incarcerated. Done. That's perfect fucking state math for
Right.
you. It's not great,
There are
but
a bunch of
it'll
others
work.
who need felony convictions and long prison terms.
You squish a cop against a building, you
Yeah.
9 kinds of things. You should take the full ride, and
Aggressively, yeah.
This is different than striking at a federal court in Portland, where Portland has a whole boatload of problems, including their SWAT officer or their riot officers jumping out of their vehicles, yelling a known neo-Nazi chant.
Yep.
And I understand how they misunderstood whose streets are streets, and like, yeah, I get that. And you want to be like, oh, new team entered the chat, but that's not what the people on the ground heard.
No, several of these were what we would have called in the 60s correctly
Yeah.
police riots.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So-
Yeah.
Well, and that's aggressively what they were. Yeah.
Yeah. Not all of them, but there were a number that were.
Yes.
Significant number.
Yep.
Oh, but exactly. You can understand how we got to these places based on the inattention we've paid to
Yep.
pick any corner you want to talk about.
No, absolutely.
It's the horrible part about being the asshole in this conversation is anytime anybody wants to show you a bright little light that they've gently protected and slowly nurtured, and like, cool. Now move your hands and look at the rest of the like shit pile.
Yep.
We haven't cared about, right? We all had great fun when we were talking about the kids quitting as like the new part of the Great Resignation. 4.3 million Americans quit
11.
in August. So whatever the
You think
jobs number
corporate
was
America
of
might wake up a
hundreds
little
of
bit?
thousands of jobs we made, yeah, loads of kids walked away from multiple.
Because they knew they could get another one.
Yes.
So, yeah, absolutely.
No, because
And for better price. and-
because what was the GameStop garbage? What's that called when you got bosses over a barrel? Yeah, that they were running there, and they should. It's the worst part about, and I know tonight's not the night, but we do at some point are going to address the boomer millennial conflict that was created by money.
Well, if you
interests.
guys had just stopped eating the goddamn avocado toast,
If
every-
I got $1 for every time a boomer said avocado toast,
fuck
I
it.
would be rich.
and stay out of Starbucks.
No, she fucked it up. Because you stab them with the fact that if I had $1 for every time a boomer insulted me, I'd be able to buy a house in the economy they ruined.
Oh, yeah.
And that one hits. Yeah.
Wow, thanks a bunch.
That's not wrong.
The
No,
threat
he's
of
not
being
wrong.
rich and no, that's what I found when I looked up this list because a bunch of them devolved to OK Boomer, and I will shut the fuck up right after this. But it's so many of these jokes are really dumb because they just leaned on OK Boomer because it was a good short answer.
No.
But we're
I
not
think
going to throw away the good ones tonight. We
No.
are not throwing away the good ones tonight.
No, we're
Because
gonna
it'll be a
do.
great show.
We're gonna do an actual show where
Yep.
we go
Yep.
back and forth, millennials versus.
Yeah, I
boomers,
gotta
talk
go
about
find
where it
all
came
the
some
from.
millennial
fun.
Oh
jokes.
yeah, no,
and
but we
then
got
we'll go in and discuss it. Yeah.
on how this is billionaires and millionaires, sons of bitches, making the two people who are working the hardest right now. Because
Yeah.
Gen Xers are bought in. Gen Xers are either hard capitalist or they're doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in the system right now.
Yeah.
Millennials are about to miss their pickup because there's no more buses coming. Like they're a route to the middle class, so that's a sideline drug dealing and something. And don't do crimes, the monkeys. But working 40 hours a week and being the good worker, right?
Is very likely not to get you there.
No,
Yeah.
that was the worst part and the most damaging part of the list we saw of the people quitting is the last text chain they had with their bosses. Which, I have no idea if the worker here is the problem or not, but I know the boss came at this all wrong.
Oh, they almost always do.
Yeah.
Toxic workplaces are disgustingly common
Yes.
and really hard to get away from. It's hard to find a workplace where you don't have at least some middle manager somewhere that is just overreaching and just a total dick all the time for absolutely no reason or benefit.
Who threatens people's employment on the reg.
Yeah,
And then
just
you're
because.
surprised when
They say
you
fuck
lose someone
Yeah.
instantly and they don't come back. And they're out there in the world. Every time someone says your business at any environment, they piss on you.
Yep. Every single
And the
time.
owners they know enough to be afraid. They're terrified of social media for exactly this, right? You have a
Yep.
bad night at a restaurant, everyone's going to hear about it.
Yep.
So, anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail us that far.
No, but we were talking about Evan Newman, who was charged with 6 counts, including
Yeah.
assaulting officers.
Good.
So he ran away to the Ukraine, and now.
Oh, no. J-Sock.
Oh no, I'm really tempted
No.
to say and good riddance. But
No.
extraordinary rendition. I'm good for that.
I don't plan to ask anyone.
Well, grab him, take him to Guantanamo.
Internet, there's an amount of money. Give me money, I will go get this kid for reals.
So.
No, because Snowden's the same thing. He should never have made it through the airport in Singapore or whatever his stopover that wasn't Moscow. Yeah, we are not having a firefight in fucking Moscow. That is not happening.
Yeah.
But no, because first off, I want to know, like, Belarus is a bad place. Like, Belarus is where the norm, right, where Russia gets murderers.
I
for
suspect
hire.
eventually he's really, really going to want to come home.
And I'm not sure he didn't.
What?
So the guy that ran the entire California secede motion, yeah, he went home to Russia. Basically all of the boomer dreams about the Soviets, they're real and they're better on the internet than we are.
Yeah. They're certainly better. They have certainly proved
they're
to
not
be
all
better.
real. Shut up, the internet. But
they certainly have proved to be better at buying data from Facebook and advertising to the most persuadable of the working folks. It's really sad.
Whatever they bought was irrelevant. Right, because they have no kidding patriots on their side who scrape every social media, right, who index Google images to names. I believe it is an accurate statement. I heard it forever ago, and at the time I thought that's dumb and bullshit. Russia has enough social information about Americans to steal half of the identities in the United States. I have no trouble believing that, but again, it's one of those, like, China has a 1,000,000-man army. So do we, and they have no navy, so they're not going anywhere they can't drive to. Like, it's one of those, like, brags that, like, who goddamn cares?
Turns out the last time we had them out in the field, they couldn't feed their soldiers in the places they could drive to.
No, and that's right, Russia can steal half the identities. What are they going to do? Get a credit card and cool. Everything past January, that's not real. Delete that.
So did we want to get into, you have an update on Kirill Zahala?
Again, this is just one that we're following, but we've now got a Russian expatriate.
Those do come cheap usually.
Yeah, I know. Roman Dobrokotov, who is saying that his guess is that Kirill was interviewed by the German authorities over the killings of Kangashvili, and that it was his contacts with the German authorities which made the FSB distrust him, and they executed him. So anyway, is there anything to back that up? Any definitive information? Not a damn thing.
So this is just another wild speculation, folks.
Just another one. But it's the same thing as the rest of us did. You look at that and go, no, this is not the story. There's another story.
The son of the chief window thrower gets thrown out a window. I have questions.
Well, there's a certain wonderful symmetry to that.
Yeah, but at some level, right, again, the only thing that's going to make me happy in this is I want 4 minutes with a time machine to go see this guy's reaction to hearing it.
Yeah.
Because if his son was getting snitchy or thought he was going to make a deal, like an absolute, you don't end up chief of window throwers on accident.
Without being willing to throw your son.
And believing in what you're doing, that this is the answer, or at least, right, maybe full kleptocracy. I don't.
Yeah.
My problem here is the Russians I know are some of the best humans I've ever met.
Yep.
Right, really make me believe in, there should be more of those, or like a world of them.
Yep.
And they build these governments that make you go, why did you learn to read or speak?
Yeah.
Right, feral would have been better. Yeah. Right, true anarchy.
No, it's again, we're just back to the Middle Ages. Right, it's that simple.
If it's not going to get better, I can absolutely understand falling in line behind a strongman. If the system is broken, right? One of my favorite speeches is the kid at Berkeley about when the operation of the machine is so odious, the only thing you can do is throw your body on the gears of the machine. When what he's talking about was the idea that college was corporations telling colleges what you needed to know to work for them. So that you'd
be a good, effective cog.
Then they should be paying for it. Because if college isn't to teach you to think...
Yeah, less true in math and the hard sciences.
Yep.
But no, you're absolutely right. That's why we talk about the Harvard School.
Yeah.
And
It's why Wall Street pays the chief instructor of the Harvard School of Economics to teach supply side Austrian
Oh,
school garbage. That no, you can just make the consumers consume, and yeah, right up until they get the guillotines out of the Smithsonian, don't want to have that fight.
you think the guillotines in the Smithsonian are sharp?
Fucking
Well, I was kind of thinking if they weren't, it would be more fun.
the instant I thought about it, I decided I could make them out of a four-way stop sign,
Yeah.
and decided,
And have 4.
right, and like, anyway, bosses be good. Sometimes they get the pitchforks out.
All right, so we wanted to tie this back around to you wanted to talk a little bit more about climate weirding and what we can do to help.
Right.
Again, this is one we're just keeping alive, right? But we had talked about transportation and what could you do. Yes, an electric car helps. But electric cars tend to run a little expensive, so wait for them to get cheaper, make
Yeah.
use of a federal
and that's-
subsidy.
Yeah, and fuck all that noise. That's all good noise. It's exactly like every other good thing about cars.
Yeah.
Right? That there's going to be a used car market next year.
Yeah.
And that's only going to grow.
Yep.
No, there is a
And at
slight...
least initially, EVs will not hold their value as well as
Nope.
internal combustion.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows
How far?
kind of how far you can drive an internal combustion engine before you need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know that for electric vehicles.
Well, and what happens over the lifetime? I assume they're using either fancy LiPo or LiFo or one of the alphabet batteries.
One of the lithium chemistries, yeah.
So how do those degrade over time? What's the projected chart of useful lifespan? Because sure, it can't be a family car that goes 100 miles, or I don't know what the range on any of these are.
I think the kinds of numbers that people are advertising are 80% capacity at 5 years. And 80% capacity would be just fine.
Yeah, no,
Right.
exactly. I
So-
need to know what we're taking 80%
What does it do
of.
after that? Yes.
But
Yeah,
Like-
40 miles is not enough. 100 miles is enough.
yeah, but I just made them the retirement vehicle. I just
'Twelve
12 things because there's a nearby store. It's fine.
Exactly.
But the idea of the American road trip has effectively been over since my time, right? I remember when we went on road trips, it was a big deal simply because gas was going to be an appreciable portion of the
Oh, yeah.
budget, which had not been true.
On the other
previous
hand,
road
you and I have
trips.
been on recent
Oh.
road trips. So-
Yes,
And we're going to do that
I
again.
smartly attached myself to a boomer who worked hard and was a good cog, and it worked out for them. At least
Yep.
it didn't work out badly. And luckily, my boomer understands
It
the
didn't work
boomers
out
ought to be
for
the ones
everybody.
in the street.
Yeah.
Because the boomers were the ones who really had, right? My generation was born as ghosts. You guys had it taken from you.
Yep.
Right? That the contributions made by the
We ought
boomers.
to be in the streets because our children are getting fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, every boomer should have already been angry for what happened to them.
Yep.
Instead, they're doing the standard, or one of the
Um,
standard responses of, if it happened to me, it's okay if it happens to you.
That's part of it. The other part of it is that they're in a position where they have to feel
They
like
need
they've
the
been
stability.
successful.
Yeah. Okay.
And they can look at the millennials and say, well, you're just not working hard enough.
And I get
And-
a lot of that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get a lot of that because millionaires paid people to write those memes and
Billionaires.
distribute them.
Paid millionaires
Yes.
with good hair
Yeah.
to lie to you and not understand how the world works.
So going back to climate weirding. Right.
Yes,
So
sorry.
electric car, good idea. You may not save a lot of money, but you'll save a lot of CO2. But again, the other approach, as we discussed last night, the cheapest cars tend to be the ones that get the best mileage, and you can save money and CO2
And who
if
cares
you
about
can't
road
afford
noise?
an electric vehicle.
Right.
America's
So-
love affair with the car is from loud engines not made by your stereo system, looking at you Mustangs,
Yeah.
and road noise.
So the next one is your home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And there are fewer and fewer families that can afford to own homes, but if you are lucky enough to own a home, weatherize it,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
right? Because first of all, you'll save lots of CO2. And second, you will save money,
Oh, all the money. Yep.
right? And again, the same thing with LED bulbs everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
right? And you're going to find
And
some.
just as they burn out, this one has become so easy. It's actually the financial
know.
argument is they are literally cheaper than the Freedom bulbs or whatever they're selling now.
Yeah, and Walmart has their own LED bulbs now, their own brand, and they're cheap and they work just as good as the expensive ones. They don't last as long, but I mean that's to be expected.
Give them a minute.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
You know you've made it when you're mainstream when there's a great value brand of you.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that
on the
argument's
other hand,
over.
We've had LED bulbs in this house ever since they became available.
Yeah.
Right? At a time when you were paying $21 for a good LED
I used to
bulb.
spend good $10, $20
I spent
for a
enough.
bulb.
I save when I get a new apartment. I save the old light bulbs, and I put my good light bulbs in, and then I take my good light
There
bulbs
you
with
go.
me.
Yeah, that's what we did in my apartment.
know,
When we moved in, I put in all the LED bulbs. When I moved out, I took out all the LED bulbs,
Here's your
put the
shitty
old
bulbs
ones back in,
bro.
and moved out. And so, but the best part is they last.
Yeah,
And-
that's
and
7, 8, 9 years.
They've
I've had one LED bulb that gave up the guzzling. So,
yeah, no, I love my LED bulbs. They're brighter, they're better. My electricity bill is
yeah, while we're talking about brighter,
Low and-
right? When you replace an outdoor light, right? So, say a 60-watt outdoor bulb, right? And you go to buy an LED replacement. Buy one that gives you the same number of lumens.
oh yeah.
Because if you buy one that draws 15 watts, you're going to have 2,000 lumens instead of the 800 you used to get from the 60-watt bulb. And God knows the outdoors at night doesn't need any more light.
Yeah, no, keep
So-
at least put a cover on the top so you're not, adding to light pollution.
Yeah.
That's important.
All right, can we go to Hillary now?
Oh, you and I have a lot to say about Hillary, and I'm not sure if it's the same thing.
This
Let's
part
go.
right here, this is the part I was trying to talk about. This is all my fault. Sorry, the internet.
Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm
This
excited.
is going to be fun.
Go.
So Hillary talked about Trump's basket of deplorables, right? Notable for their racism, white supremacy, nativism, misogyny, religious hatred, and various other retrograde antisocial values. And she got criticized by everybody for it.
Back in 2016, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, Hillary was absolutely 100% right.
Oh, yeah. And everything that she said happened for surezies.
Yep. So now the problem is she was right. Tell me in what way she was effective.
Mhm.
Right? The height of American civilization was about 1968. And since that day, whether it was Democrats in office or Republicans in office, there's been one trend, right?
Right.
Which is tighten the screws on the working class and make sure that the rich get richer because they're the ones who own the government.
No, they got rid of our middle class. Thanks for that, by the way,
Yeah.
guys.
So I'm sorry, I'm tired of this shit about liberals being right about this, that, or the other thing. I'd like you to try being fucking effective for once.
That is a phrase that my family just grew up with.
I know. You want to be
It's the right phrase though,
Yep.
because those are literally the two choices in all of the decisions you make that matter.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time there's a thing you can do, and I routinely you'll hear me make a lot of noise about principles or morals must be very expensive.
Yep.
And it's the same thing: is that you can be right or you can be effective.
Yeah.
Well, and here's my thoughts on this, okay? And that's that Clinton needs to just shut the fuck up and stop talking. She just needs to stop. She needs to go away. This needs to stop.
She can
because-
register voters. She can do. There's a lot the party could use her for.
Hold on. The January 6th coup, okay, was way closer to being successful than anybody wants to even fucking discuss. Like, way closer. Like, this was not an accident, okay? The way this played out is way scarier when you look at the details and when you look at the stuff that the committee is coming up with, right?
The Brooks Brothers riot was more spontaneous than this.
And as we speak to Republicans, okay, we're actively making it easier for it to be successful, right? Republicans right now are going out of their way between voting restrictions and whining about every election they lose, okay, and saying, oh, it's voter fraud, meh, 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 meh. every time they lose now, right? This is standard Republican behavior as we speak. All of these things are actively making it easier. So the next time when Trump is up there and he loses aggressively, and they're just gonna swoop in and be like, nope, he won, done, end of discussion, and that's gonna be the end of it, and we're all gonna be fucked. But this sort of thing, right? Her coming out and saying these things out loud make it easier for Republicans that may actually be willing to listen or have similar concerns to brush it off or call it false because it came from Hillary, so it's bullshit or whatever.
Yeah, she poisons the well.
Exactly.
just by
The moment she
existing.
opens her mouth and says these things is the moment every Republican is like, no, I can't hear you, blah, 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 blah.
Everyone gets to say it's political now.
Yeah. No,
And there's
Clinton
two
said it,
sides
so
to
it
it,
can't be
and-
right. And, nobody likes Clinton. Why are we letting her still freaking talk? She needs to stop. She's ruining it for all of us. Do you hear me,
Well-
Hillary? Shush.
Totally agreed. Get her off my national stage, please.
Yes.
Where's the hook when you need it?
Right.
But-
like old school.
I'm sorry, but the rest of the Democrats are wandering around going, we need to have a civil discourse. You can't have a civil discourse with Nazis and racists. Stop trying
do
to
it.
have a civil discourse and start trying to be effective.
No, we
And
just
we got this,
we just need to stamp these people out. The moment they open their mouths, done. Just done.
and we've got this milquetoast clown named Merrick Garland. And I don't know whether he's the one who's dragging his feet or not, but Bannon defied a summons from the House.
Have they
people's
done anything
house.
about that yet? Or are they still
No, they
just
haven't done a
twiddling
damn
their
thing. They're
thumbs
staggering in
and-
circles. And I totally agree
clutching
with
their
the Democrat
pearls?
who today suggested send the sergeant at arms
Yes.
to bring
Yes.
them to this place by
Do
force.
it.
I'll go. Give me a
I'm
W2.
coming.
And they can imprison them until they talk.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you can start a
So-
lawsuit about they got to follow the same rules.
But
as
you're
a
gonna
real
be in the
court,
cell.
But it's 18 months.
Yep.
Because again, you're not punishing them for not talking. Well, you are, but
You are requiring them
you
to answer
are
questions.
coercing them to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's important. That those
Yep.
legal distinctions matter in a time when my country can't find a reference
And
to
by the-
anything
by the
before
way,
2000.
On the first day of the 19th month, you can bring them before you again, ask them the same questions, and imprison them for another 18 months.
Up to 3 years.
So,
No, but that rule of the 3 years is important because if they're not going to talk, we are the kids that ran faster than everyone in Australia. Snitches get ditches, man. Like you can't build a country on whatever you
so
call
if they're willing to be
hillbillies from
imprisoned
Ireland.
for 3 years, fine.
Yes,
Yep. Give them a walk.
yes.
Um,
No, I'm not.
but again, this crap has to stop. We talk about the January 6th insurrection.
No, we're still on
We're
the
going to-
FBI.
No,
I have a
but
rude
the
thing to
point
say
is-
about the FBI. Since they listen to all my phone calls, I sometimes feel like we have a connection that I don't often use, and I would just like to take a moment to say,
You think they're on this phone call?
I'm waiting for that.
they're not,
that
I want my
pancake
tax money back.
recipe. The FBI. I want that pancake recipe.
no,
wait.
that the FBI's. Well, we don't want to appear political. Didn't you guys used to whisper into Martin Luther King Jr.'s phone calls, "Kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself"? Like you aren't an apolitical body. You shot Bonnie and Clyde before you identified yourselves, because that's what you were. You were a federal death squad.
Yep.
Remember that. Like, if they're gonna go fashy, don't just let them make you be whatever kind of fashy. Enforce whatever you want. Use your power while you got it. And arresting Steve Bannon would be fun.
Oh,
That
God,
would
yeah.
be fun.
So fun.
Imagine the video.
Yeah, no,
FBI perp walk Steve Bannon.
this is Comey released that. Comey said his thing about their reopening the investigation to Hillary because he was afraid of I can't remember the second one, which is my problem with the story. But he was afraid that the New York field office would go crazy and some other field office. So they're already not a political agency. If they're making that kind, right? If they are afraid of internal schism at that level,
Then
ladies
any
and gentlemen,
argument that
the
they're not
show's over.
political
We're
is
just waiting
bullshit.
on curtain call now.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
So, dear House of Representatives, reach down, find whatever gonads you happen to have, whatever flavor, and send the sergeant at arms to bring Steve Bannon before the House by force.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Now I gotta wait.
What?
Hey, I need the fucking street address, you shithead.
Oh. Is this the where you'll find him?
Fuck them. I'm not gonna bother looking it up.
Oh, okay. I'll bet they can
I don't
find
know
it
if
out.
they've moved the barracks at 8th and I,
But they'll help.
but the Marine Corps headquarters is somewhere. Just go ask them if you need someone to knock on scary doors. They live for that shit. Just bring a big box of crayons, and those fuckers take any door you point at.
Yeah.
Especially on a thing like this. Like that's the. They used to be psychotic about that. The line from A Few Good Men, Unit Corps, God Country. I have bellowed that with other nitwits. They aren't kidding. They are extreme about it. If you tell them, bitch, democracy is at stake, they will absolutely execute every time.
So, once again, you want to be right and you want to toddle around and observe all the niceties and have all the little quiet conversations and screw you. You can be right or effective. And I think the
like, comment, and
Democratic Party
subscribe.
better learn to be effective and damned quick.
Yeah, that's your job, the internet. Right now, the way you can be effective is liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Right.
And sharing with your friends and family.
Or
And
to
write your
subscribe them against
congressman
their
and
will.
tell them to bring Bannon before the House by force.
And then tell them to subscribe to.
Yes. Well, tell them where you heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them BoomerRexTonight said.
Absolutely. Anyway, no, I am so
Here
tired
we go, Neutralo.
of having our side be this
I know.
collection of
You find out where the rules are by slamming up against them and leaving a U-shaped dent.
yeah.
Right?
You want to know if you can seize federal money for like improving schools for like troop
Do you
kids?
do you seriously
Or-
believe that if Trump is reelected in 2024,
He'll hesitate.
that in 2025 they won't be kicking down the door? Because if you believe that's not going to happen,
Oh no.
you're dumb enough.
Oh, I get to
I
slap
just-
him with Hemingway. Because the world kills the very brave and the very bold. And if you are neither of those, don't worry. The world will kill you too. But it will be in no particular hurry about it. And I fucked up part of that. But because again, I usually do whole poems.
Yes.
But
Okay.
no, it's not going to be everyone's door. It's going to be a
Wait
handful of
The
leadership.
fuck.
We are very
up.
good at network identification now.
Yeah.
That's what a
anyway.
generation of counterinsurgency.
And besides,
taught
the
us.
Claremont Institute already published the recipe. All you have to do is read it and
I
execute.
am so glad that guy wrote the kind of dumb shit I expected when I saw his
Oh, yeah.
soft little body.
Oh,
No, but like that's a good thing. Like yet again, America has succeeded because we drew the bad guy, right? Terrorism or fascism or whatever, and they're an idiot, right? The Nazis, the original like scary original press Nazis, could not figure out nukes. It wasn't their scientists dragging their feet. They weren't good at it. You can tell the myth if you like. We can show you the calculations. I have no idea. But if that guy knew anything, he'd have had a job in Huntsville. And he didn't.
Yep.
So that Nazi didn't know how to make nukes. You know, I know. We didn't give him a fancy new life where he could be that guy that used to be
Helpful.
a Nazi.
No. All right.
Which is a
so,
mistake.
Yes. Anyway, I'm tired of the whole Hillary crowd.
Yeah, no, I'm
Again,
sorry.
and it's
needs
60
to-
years
yeah.
of
That's what I want to
pretense
throw rocks
that
at.
they were somehow governing effectively and
Oh no. Fuck 'em.
making the world a better place.
Yeah, light them
No,
the fuck up.
what kind of party is it?
No,
whose motto is "Vote for us, we'll make things suck more slowly."
Right.
The dirge will be fun. No, Hillary voters get it in the teeth every time because they are the only voting bloc of Democrats, because they're actually Republicans, who stay home.
Yeah.
Progressives have turned out in record numbers
Yep.
in every cycle in the 2000s because, they
So-
see what's happening.
Hey, Democrats, you want a suggestion?
Old comfy
Listen
Democrats.
to your progressives. Go get something progressive done and see if you can't turn some more working folks into progressives.
Yeah.
We did. Mother Jones got a lot done, and she was there when the U.S. Army was shooting at U.S. civilians. Right? Remember, all of the times there's been some tyranny shit going on. It was almost exclusively against the left. because they were saying, "Hey,
How
your
about we
job
pay
shouldn't
people?
suck." Oh, I
Hey,
don't.
how about we don't work kids 14 hours a day?
How about we don't molest your wives and daughters to pay off what you owe the company store?
Yep.
When Microsoft is buying a huge amount of land in Arizona and about
To
to make
build
the
them a
largest
company
company town, and we just found out Bill Gates hangs out with Epstein. Well, hung out. That's
Yeah.
odd. Just a weird thing.
That's
Clinton did
odd.
too. Again, if they're in the flight
Trump
logs,
did
just
too.
treat them like scum. Oh, Trump, I don't.
Yeah,
The
no.
things I would say have to be edited, so I will be
Yeah,
quiet,
okay.
Yeah, we can't.
centered, and shutting up now.
We can't do Trump because the things I have to say about and to that man are vile and
They're not going to
inappropriate.
listen to 45 minutes of beep.
Yeah. 45 minutes of just beep, 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 and the beep, and the
On the beep. Yeah, no.
Oh, I think we ought to put one up.
What's the next? Oh, yeah, we'll do that. It'll be fun. We'll do that next time we take a night off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Due to tragic, not
So,
lazy reasons.
anyway, that's the message for tonight. Is dear Democratic Party, if you don't want to lose big time in 2024, you should pull your heads out of your asses and go get something done.
Or go
And
down
like,
swinging.
comment, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
I lead a Polish cavalry charge, which sometimes we'll actually have to sit down and tell people because that is a story
Yes.
that has made me cry, has been used by multiple branches of military
Mhm.
to weaponize me,
Uh-huh.
and is beautiful in its tragedy.
Yes.
I do want to say thank you
It
to
didn't
my
happen.
to one of my girlfriends who listens to this show,
No.
and actually made a cute little video of her cat with a clip from our show overlaid on it, and the effort that she put into that. And
Oh.
I she did this several days ago, and I'd been meaning to
Now I'm gonna cry.
share it. I actually did share it on my Risen Lady Heathen
Do we wanna
Facebook account. So
Put it
if
as the first comment in this video. We can just kick a link to it.
oh, that's true.
Hey,
Yeah.
if not, we can delete this.
Yeah, no,
I won't have said that.
Yeah, I can easily do that. I can kick you a link to my Risen Lady Heathen Facebook account.
There you
That's
go.
where we put all the updates and stuff. We will be getting a BoomerRexTonight Facebook eventually.
We'll get
just
more
haven't gotten
professional
there
as
yet.
this goes
Sooner or
on.
later.
We super promise.
But for all the updates
I'm
and what
throwing
we're
the cal-
doing and
scalpel
why,
like they can see it.
you know, if we miss a night, I'll post it on there and why we missed the night and such. I also share all of our videos there. Some of you are already getting to us from there. So thank you to my Risen Lady Heathen followers. I appreciate you all.
I'm over here
And-
waving at the mic. So.
Yeah, no, we're all doing weird things. That's fine. But thank you once again. We've had a fun, exciting night.
No, don't shut it down yet, because you were telling. Excuse me. You were telling cat stories. So now I get to tell my cat story. It turns out that when men actually sit on a toilet, we break into two groups. There's the group that leaves the waistband of your pants around your knees, and there's the group
Kids are
that drops. What?
Those kids are weird.
That's what I said. And there's the group, of which I am a member, that just drop their trowel and it hits the floor wrapped around their ankles.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, fine. So I'm gradually becoming a member of the waistband
Ah.
around the knees, because the split second I drop my pants around my ankles, my cat climbs into my pants.
Of course he does.
Because it's a nice warm place and it's right here by his friend.
And it smells so much like you.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it also turns out it's not always easy to get a cat out of your pants.
No.
No, just put
that's
them on.
better.
That's
I
the only
tried
way.
that
He'll
once.
do that.
I tried that once.
Oh, you
And
do
the
have the
cat-
ickle baby skin.
The cat slid down the
I have
leg
horror show leather skin.
and decided it didn't like that and wanted to come back and was having trouble climbing, so it used its climbing gear.
Oh no! I climbed up
So
your leg.
we don't do that anymore. But anyway, as long as we're telling cat stories.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I
No.
like that. That's
Now it's my turn to hijack things. This bus is going to Cuba.
Oh
All right.
no.
So, one, Umberto Eco is
Can I
a
buy
thing
cigars?
everyone should read. Oh yeah, no, if we're going to Cuba, man, we're gonna buy a lot of things.
Okay.
If we're going to jail forever, we're gonna have a good story. And the other one, I just want to close out with like my personal favorite of the boomer jokes I ran across today. as a whetting of the appetite. What's the 10-penny word for like the before dinner drink?
Aperitif.
Yeah,
Yes, that was the word I was looking for. Yes.
I have the digestive one. Boomers are always talking about the things they miss that millennials are taking away from them. You know what I'm gonna miss when we're old? Trees.
Mm-hmm.
No, some of these are really good because they stab right in the middle.
I hate it that you're ahead of me on the homework.
No, I was just.
I mean,
lazy
I had to
looking up
fall
jokes
back
tonight.
on the avocado toast just because
I
that.
know.
And Starbucks. Don't forget Starbucks.
Yeah, man. No, I looked up millennial jokes too, and I was like, oh wow, these are punching down.
So
They
I'll
used to have
tell
one
you
problem.
everything I know about Starbucks.
All right.
Probably know more than I do.
A double espresso from Starbucks is drinkable. That's it. That's everything I know about Starbucks. It's the only thing I've ever ordered in a Starbucks.
I don't know if we
I like
posted
their
the
hot
video where I
chocolate.
said it,
Okay.
but seriously,
They
everybody,
make hot chocolate.
They do. It's really good.
Starbucks is a scam from Seattle. Everyone there knows it's bad coffee, and they laugh very hard amongst themselves when other people drink it and are snooty about it. It's like James Bond ordering a bad martini. But at least James Bond, like, if you've ever actually read the books, Ian Fleming's weird. He's into, like, lady butt fur. No, he describes the small of a woman's back and the little tuft of fur, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Why is there a tuft of fur?
Did she
this
grow up
small
under
on your
power
back?
lines? What are
Oh
you
my
going about?
God.
But no, James Bond has no.
Do
He's
I
like
have a
He's
tuft
like
of
Bruce
fur?
Wayne. He has no fun in anything, so he's drinking a bad martini, so he doesn't enjoy it because he's very dead parentsy and like he takes cold shower. He never takes a hot shower. Like it's a bunch of stoicist nonsense.
Are you serious?
It's really not good.
No.
The movie just don't. Internet, you don't know because you haven't read the book, but
Yeah.
you've just seen the movies. Stay there. They're good.
Yeah.
The books are dumb.
No, Starbucks is the worst. Don't go there.
Or don't be snooty about it.
Well, yeah, no, like
because the green tea is fine.
if you can afford to buy Starbucks, then good on you. And if you like it, then good on you. Personally, I don't like that I go in there and try to order a large hot chocolate and they try to correct me every fucking time.
And they want me to know that barista's a thing.
Like,
And I've
just
met-
whatever your biggest hot chocolate is, that's
It's
what I
they-
want,
it's
motherfucker.
what they've been told to say.
The best barista I have ever met in all of existence ran a coffee shop outside of a used bookstore / pawn shop I worked at. And he was the one who taught me how to make coffee in a French press and the reasons behind some of this stuff and some things. He's also the guy who gave me free coffee for life because he had a shock stick in case, things went sideways. And I'm like, that's not going to work. And he's like, what do you mean? So, like, I'll show you, but for free life coffee. And I turned it on and just grabbed it. Like, it's not awesome. I don't want a job doing that, but
Can you hold on to the shocky end and beat the owner
yes,
unconscious?
they're going to be
Fine.
really sad when they find out I am now electrified and hitting them.
With their own stick.
I know, and then I'm going to have a stick, and because it's got
They're not.
it's got a little nubblies on the end, so you like jab it, which is what you should do.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks they're gonna it's the future in video games,
Yeah.
and shock batons are gonna do anything but make unruly people violent. So anyway, sorry, internet.
So anyway, thank you to my friend who made that video.
Yes,
it
I
was
wanna see
super
this now.
sweet, and it was funny.
I'm offended you didn't send it to
It
me.
made me laugh. No, I told you about it,
You told
and
me
I
about a
thought
lot
you
of
had
things.
seen it. I did post it on my personal Facebook as well.
I don't do social media.
And thank you to my cat for teaching me that I don't want a cat in my pants.
And you're a weirdo.
You like having a cat in your pants?
And thank
have
you
your
all
waistband
for
around your
hanging
knee.
out with
You
us
should be hunted
tonight.
from a helicopter.
It has been another fun, exciting adventure with you all.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you back here tomorrow
Comment,
night.
subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow Risen
Share
Lady
us.
Heathen on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yep.
All you have to do is go to Facebook, type in Risen Lady Heathen. I'm the redhead. You'll recognize me right
mean,
away.
Don't do it. Use this as part of your DDoS attack. Don't
But yeah, it
DDoS
was-
things, the internet.
It's funny because I shared it and it's like through a friend, and then I put
Yeah.
it there. So it's adorable, and thank you, and we love y'all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.